The tweet was Avocado Indians, Matcha Indians,
Yeah,
Labubu
yeah.
Indians. What is Labubu? Do you think then NFTs are going to make a comeback?
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure there is probably one tool out there, one plugin out there that does LLM engine optimization for WordPress website.
If you recall, like there's this company called Webflow.
Yes, WordPress is not going away for the next 5 to 6 years. Yeah, when I found out, it was so funny.
Like when did you find out? 60 to 70% of India is lactose intolerant.
What are the symptoms? People in the US, they understand the value of storytelling. You should know what your audience knows. Gen Z falling into the same trap as millennials. Hello, what's up?
Nothing much. How is Bangalore?
It's freezing. It's fucking freezing, man. ठंड लग रही है मेरे को. Like I have like पंखे and all, like they're shut down right now, shut off. Like they're not.
मेरा एसी चल रहा है, मेरा पंखा चल रहा है. I have a cold drink.
You told me in the last video that you had a problem with the electricity bill. Come to Bangalore, you won't have that problem. My bill last month was about 1200.
Like if I'm out of the house for like 2 weeks, my
Hmm.
electricity bill is more than that.
All right, coming back to the topics at hand. I saw a tweet of yours. Let me just pull it up
Yeah.
because when I read those words and I was like,
What the fuck
okay,
is
this
this?
doesn't make sense. What is he talking about? So the tweet was Avocado Indians,
Yeah.
Matcha Indians,
Yeah.
Labubu Indians.
Yeah.
What is Labubu?
Okay, so Labubu are like there are these dolls that are like collectibles that have gotten like super popular worldwide now. But have you ever seen like those small collectibles of like dolls or bears or like
Funko Pop,
Funko Pop? Like I think like the first origination of this was like in the US. You had something called the Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies, yeah.
Yes, and then Beanie Babies got really hyped up, and like
Technically,
people.
Barbie also has like a
Huh,
collectible.
huh, huh, huh. But I mean, there's historically been like several kind of these collectible toys that have historically been meant for kids,
Hmm.
but adults start collecting them. And
Yeah.
like, I think in the US, there's this big phenomena called the kidult industry. Have you heard of that? Where
Yes, I
like
have heard.
kids are pretend. I mean, like everyone who's
I am a
playing.
kidult. I am a
Yeah,
proud
same.
kidult.
Like Legos or RC controlled cars or
Yeah.
like drones and all this stuff is like around this
Yeah.
ecosystem. So that's kind of like the backstory of like how um, Labubu dolls kind of became popular. And I mean, it's happened for like I think Labubu dolls is more like a female phenomena. There's been like other like collectible toys that have been really popular among like guys as well. Like there's this thing called bear bricks that like is associated very closely with like the streetwear and the sneaker culture.
Hmm.
And like bear brick does collabs with like Kit or Bape or stuff like that. And then like all the men start collecting them. Like I
Even Pokemon cards, baseball cards, same line, right?
yeah. So Labubu also kind of came out from like this phenomena. It's actually a fairly old kind of product and company. Like, if you were to guess how long this has been around,
Hmm.
like you've only heard about it today. Like, what would you assume?
1900s somewhere.
Okay, उतना भी पुराना नहीं है.
I mean,
So,
also, I mean, 20th century is what I meant.
no. So it was conceived in like 2015 by this
Oh,
artist who grew up in Holland but was born in Hong Kong, and her inspiration was to draw like create a fictional universe of monsters inspired by Nordic mythology.
or Pokemon,
Huh?
or Pokemon.
No, well, her particular thing was around I want to build this series
Okay,
of characters around Nordic mythology.
it's like Chota Bheem but Nordic.
Chota Bheem is not, no, Nordic gods.
Huh.
Achha,
I
okay.
mean, obviously, Bheem is not technically considered a god, but
Yeah, yeah.
like mythology is what I
हाँ
meant.
ठीक है fair हाँ. And then I think it was like kind of semi and like I think it was like kind of semi popular in China and Southeast Asia, but it wasn't really mainstream until last year when. Have you heard of this K-pop band called Blackpink?
Yes, they one of the singer uh,
The Rocky and Rani.
copied
Yeah.
the Rani's entry song.
And so that
Jenny,
singer,
yeah.
yeah. So not that singer, but there's another uh like artist in that group called Lisa, who had like, I mean, they're all like massive influencers and celebrities. So she had like a bag with like a Labubu doll, and that like kind of like kicked off this craze of Labubu dolls globally. And then all throughout like 2025, I think a lot of American celebrities have started like buying Labubu dolls and being seen with Labubu dolls and like showcasing their Labubu dolls. And it's apparently all over TikTok in the US and all over Reels in the US, and kind of globally. So like Rihanna has been spotted with a Labubu doll. Dua Lipa has been spotted with a Labubu doll. And like what all of these people are doing is they like hang the. Have you heard of what bag charms are? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
So like women like to hang little charms from their like designer bags.
Hmm.
So a lot of people have been using Labubu dolls as bag charms. So like they hang their like little Labubu bags from like their bags, and like I mean, there's like such a huge like fan ecosystem around this. So like on like the Labubu Reddit, you will see like women like matching all their Labubu dolls to all their bags. Like, oh, my pink one goes with my pink bag, and my this one goes with my that bag, and like that's how like a lot of women have been using it, and the trend has kind of started making its way to India as well. So
Oh,
Ananya Pandey was spotted with a Labubu doll, and I think Sakshi Shivdasani, who runs that podcast, is also spotted with a Labubu doll. So, like, I think our celebrity culture has kind of like adopted this now. So, I think in the next month, you're gonna hear everyone talk about Labubu dolls, and then like 3 months from now, it's gonna die out. That's my that's so this might be a good time to start like a dupe Labubu doll business on Instagram and run ads and like sell a bunch of fake Labubus until like the hype is relevant.
damn.
Yeah.
Do you find them cute? I I look. I feel they're scary looking.
Yeah. So I think they grow. When was the first time you looked at a doll?
Barbie doll, I'm guessing, or something.
No, no,
Some
like a Labubu doll.
today.
Huh. So I'll say like keep looking at it for the next couple of days because I think they grow on you a little.
Okay,
And like I mean, there must be like something about them that's like driving people to like. I
right.
mean, one reason is the hype.
Especially women.
Yeah, one reason is the hype around it. Like I mean, like I think everyone knows this. Like when something is scarce and like everyone has it, like oh mujhe bhi chahiye. So I think like that is definitely driving some of the demand. But like it seems like a cool new fun collectible to have. So
Hmm.
like why not?
Right.
Uh, okay. Also, guess how much revenue the Monsters Labubu dolls did last year?
100 million or so
More. They did 419 million in revenue.
overall. Oh,
Overall.
last year.
Yeah.
My God. What?
420 million.
Is it
No,
mostly US or what's going
no. I
on?
think it's, I don't have the revenue breakup. They've been very recent in the US.
Okay.
Um, the way they've been like selling is that, so you know about like there's these collectible things sold in like blind boxes. तो तुम्हें पता नहीं तुम्हें
Yeah.
Funko Pop का ये वाला मिलेगा या वो वाला मिलेगा या.
Correct.
So there's
Yeah.
a Chinese company called Pop Mart
Hmm.
that sells both online and they have physical stores, and they're a
Hmm.
publicly listed company. And Labubu, I
What?
believe, mostly use. Huh? Let me
What?
look at. Yeah,
Pop Mart is public,
in
and
Hong
they
Kong.
do that, and that's it.
Yeah,
They do,
yeah.
or do they have like Walmart kind of
No, no,
offerings as well?
only sell collectible toys.
Collectible toys or collectible blinds?
Ha, collectible blind boxes.
That's it?
Yeah,
And they are public
yeah,
with selling blind boxes?
yeah.
No, man. It's, come on.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Go to their
No.
website.
Pop Mart. Okay.
Dude, the collectibles industry is massive.
Yes, but blind collectible.
Well, I mean, you can not only blind, you can also buy specific ones as well.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense then.
yeah. But
Okay.
they are worth $34 billion.
Hmm.
The company's worth $34 billion.
34 billion.
Yeah, bigger than Zomato.
Okay. Okay. Bigger than Ather, bigger than like any Indian car company, I'm guessing.
Better, bigger than any venture-backed startup on the Indian public markets.
Bigger than WhatsApp when it was purchased. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like, and like I think like the kind of peak, the hype has kind of peaked globally around like our mind. It's like reaching its peak because in the UK they apparently like um, pulled all the products from physical stores to prevent any potential safety issues, which means that like people are fighting over these dolls, like adults are fighting over these dolls at like retail outlets to be able to buy them. So I think there's like
okay.
this whole like I mean like it's an interesting concept around collectibles, and it's certainly like in its like peak hype phase. So I think now would be a good time to like start a dupe brand around this in India. And
I think we should get Aditya Rao on the podcast. He basically runs Oppa Store, which is,
okay,
uh, I think, merchandise and collectibles from the K-pop.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. The
thing.
anti-Indian guy.
I would, yeah, yeah, yeah. He lives in Argentina, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I think a similar play. Maybe you can not even dupe, right? Like you can probably license the Labubu with Pop Mart.
Labubu ka price is too expensive for mainstream Indian audience.
But then that's the point of collectibles, right? Mainstream Indian audience are anyway not getting into
Huh.
desi
No,
hip
but
hop also.
like you see, there's like all these like dupe Instagram shops that are selling things for like 500 rupees or 700 rupees or 1,000 rupees. Have you seen all
Hmm.
those on your feed?
I don't have Instagram, but
Oh, okay, ठीक है. I mean, so there's like this huge ecosystem of like mini Instagram creators selling affordable priced products. A Labubu doll costs like $25,
right.
which is 4,000 rupees.
Okay.
है ना?
No,
That's
not really. $50 is 4,000.
okay, sorry. ठीक है. 2,000 rupees.
2,000 fees. Yeah.
But if you sell this doll for like, it doesn't cost more than like 100 rupees to me.
Hmm.
Like you've seen that, like it's a cheap product.
Yeah, I mean, it's a plastic product at the end of the day.
Huh.
You're not paying for the raw materials or
Yeah, I
anything,
know,
right?
but like you can make a very good dupe for like a couple hundred rupees, I think. And you could sell it
Yeah.
for 500 on Instagram.
But so by dupe, what do you really mean? Is it like, do you mean infringe on the copyright or
Yeah.
uh straight up?
Dude,
Okay.
I have seen people, so there's this like Cartier love bracelet. Have you seen the so Cartier makes these
I
like
know
bracelets.
Katia. Yeah. Yeah.
So Cartier makes these bracelets of like solid gold
Hmm.
that like look and feel a certain way. People are selling dupes of that literally the same product on like our VC backed jewelry startups are selling that same dupe of the product.
Are the startups selling them or are they a marketplace where
No,
people are
no, no.
selling them?
Startups are selling them.
Damn. Damn. Okay.
You think people give a fuck about copyright law in this country?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, at the very least, you can have like a media play around it. You can probably build content around it. I think that is also
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
safer side. And obviously you can obviously at the end of the sell it, dupe it, and whatnot.
Or you can just
uh
create something that looks like a Labubu and like trick the Indian audience into believing that these are what
Baloo.
Labubus look like.
Call him Baloo
Yeah.
or
No, I
something.
mean like it's like you call them like something around Labubus, but like you know how like every Japanese themed anime to India was like looked like Ghibli in the Ghibli craze era.
Huh?
I
Like
mean,
Shinchan and all.
no, I mean like every generation of Japanese style anime, even though it didn't look like a Ghibli movie, was
Hmm.
termed as like a Ghibli themed
Right.
image. So
Yeah.
similarly, you can kind of like gaslight
Get.
the audience into believing these are Lububus.
Yeah, it's like Rebook or Abibas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have you ever worn one of those?
No, I have not.
I have.
I think
my
the
mom, my
yeah.
mom used to buy it from like the roadside vendors.
Okay.
Then,
The closest I think I've come to is like buying like water from a roadside when I think it's like Bisleri, but it's like
Bill,
Bilseri or just like a random brand with the same color.
Bill Seri, yeah, the Bill Seri is fun. The
Yeah.
best one was Piss Lady.
Oh my.
They just
Uh,
removed the bottom portion of the B, and then it became Piss Lady. And
but I
anyway,
do think that like I think India will also like pick up bigger on this like collectibles trend in the next like decade.
hmm, makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think then NFTs are going to make a comeback?
I don't know about that. But physical collectibles, yes.
Physical collectibles, got
Yeah.
it. Something you can show off,
Yeah.
something with the status
Yeah.
attached.
Like do you have any collectibles or
I have Funko Pops.
okay.
I have a bunch of tech collectibles. I have PS1, 2, 3, 4. Not 4, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but you तो वो
Uh,
तो यूज करता था ना
but I've
डिस्प्ले के लिए
collected
थोड़ा
them
ना
like they've kept it like in a box now
अच्छा
and
okay
like
oh wow interesting
so. But yeah, I mean, so those kind of things I have. Uh, I used to buy a lot of NFTs,
okay
but
I think that was both of us
yeah, but I obviously can't like show off right
yeah
that.
yeah
But um, yeah, I mean, but not really that big. I used to be a big collectible guy when I was a kid.
yeah
I used to like I had like a bunch of Tazos. I had um like there were so we used to buy like cricket cards.
yeah
And then I had like Pokemon cards when I was kid. And not because like my parents got them or anything. I think I won one of them in one of those some event kind of thing, and then I was like, okay, what is this?
yeah
I would beg my relatives living outside, like, please,
to
can you
bring
get me something, one card or something like that. But yeah, I mean, as I grew up, I was like, okay, I have to move on from
yeah
this. This could kill me.
yeah fair no
But
did you see Pokemon's also kind of making a comeback in India
I think they have been always. I wouldn't call it comeback. I mean, it's just they've been always on the rise, is what I feel.
no but like I mean there was that whole era in like early 2000s when like the first season of Pokemon came in India. That was like April 2022 ish, if I remember.
2022,
Oh, sorry, 2002. Uh,
2003 is what I remember. But yeah,
okay, and then Tazos came, and there was this whole hype cycle of like everyone and their like
yeah.
young people watching Pokemon a lot, and then like Pokemon kind of did not like people started playing the Game Boy like after when people started playing the Game Boy games and
It was there on the PC as well. So I had played like Pokemon on the PC
with
with
the
some.
what like on a VBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
With an emulator.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then that hype, kind of for the last decade, has not really been relevant in India.
Yeah, except for the Pokemon Go
Huh,
phenomenon.
huh. But now, because last year was the first year where, like, so now Ash is no longer the main character. So they like have like a new Pokemon series and season with like this new uh kind of like
Character.
main person, and then like Pokemon's doing a lot of stuff in India, so they did this collaboration with Cadbury to give away Pokemon cards if you buy Oreos,
Hmm.
and they have their own YouTube channel in Hindi now where they release free episodes, and their Instagram for Hindi has been picking up a lot. They did this event in Bombay in February for like kids. So like I think they're really trying to like put more money into this new character, new season, and like make Pokemon a big thing in India again.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I think hopefully it should work. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, you catch the kids, and then like the kids grow up with that nostalgia, so they. That's why
Correct.
we're still talking about Pokemon. Otherwise, we wouldn't give a fuck if we didn't care about Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. So one big trend I had seen, and I think recently a lot of people are seeing,
Yes,
uh, are is basically a bigger trend is AI website builder.
yes,
But the AI website builders, the problem with them is everything is from scratch. Like
yes.
if you were to build something in Lovable, there is no ecosystem around Lovable right now. So if you want to integrate your Substack or your Beehive or your Mailchimp pop up for capturing email
Hmm.
or anything like that, like you have to do it yourself, custom basically. You have to code
Hmm.
it or
Hmm.
vibe code it, whatever.
Hmm.
Right, that becomes a problem
Yep.
uh, because you are on your own. I mean, I am a developer, you are a developer also, but I mean,
Yes.
we can figure it out. But if
Yeah.
you tell somebody else that you have to do a bunch of these things, and the alternative for them has been right now, or at least till now, has been WordPress, which has like a bunch of things around it. It has a whole ecosystem of tools and stuff like that. So there has been a lot of demand, and I'll put the graph on the screen, which basically you can see that the WordPress AI website builder, the
Okay.
the search term is just exploding right now,
Okay.
and it has been exploding since 2022.
Okay.
But it hasn't basically gone down, it's still going up and up.
Yeah.
So um, and if you actually search for it, there are like maybe four or five alternatives. So the market for WordPress, like as
Yeah.
people like to quote, is like 40% of the websites on the internet, right? I don't know how old or how new that or how fresh that data point is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
just play, let's just run with it,
Well,
okay?
actually, yeah. Maybe in this vibe coding era, it's not true anymore.
I
But
don't
yeah.
know, do people deploy their vibe coded apps? That's
Yeah.
where
Well, because like
not.
Lovable, it's like one click deploy.
Okay, yeah. How do you even define a website, I guess? But
Well, like if it's on Lovable's domain, would we
maybe,
count that as a website or not?
yeah, correct. Correct. So okay, Jaro, let's not 40%, but
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't think it has fallen below, let's say,
Yeah.
20%, right?
Well,
I
yeah,
mean, I
but
mean,
like, have you seen, like, kind of, sorry, it's very small tangent, but did you see that company Neon that got acquired by Databricks? This is database company. They like hosted Postgres
yes,
DBs.
yes,
They posted something really interesting on how, like, with AI coding tools, their product usage has like grown like 800%.
massively, yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
because the need for database is complementary to the code.
yeah,
So the more code you put, the more database you need, or the more apps you make, the more database you need.
yeah.
Like
And so like
that's
the
how.
like website creation industry is like probably growing exponentially because of all these vibe coding tools.
Correct. Uh, but these vibe coding tools don't have the ecosystem around it, which WordPress already has, right?
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense to build like a AI website builder, which is on top of WordPress. Now,
Okay.
so I searched for it. There are a bunch of tools. There are like four or five different tools that are doing this,
Yeah.
but it's not like a huge competition right now.
Yeah.
WordPress by itself is also building it out, but when I tried it out, it was meh. Like
Okay.
not
Okay.
like they are not. They are obviously thinking from the 2005 era of WordPress and then
Okay.
building it from there
I have
versus.
a question for you. If all things you need to integrate with,
Hmm.
and like this whole ecosystem, if all of them have MCP servers
Hmm.
and WordPress has an MCP server,
Hmm.
could you not just do it from an MCP client?
Um, so if WordPress is an MCP server for installation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the other tools have the MCP server. Yeah, I mean, if WordPress has the MCP server for installation, you can do it from an AI tool. Correct.
Yeah.
You're correct. Great observation.
But
But yeah,
until
actually,
then,
that could be the product.
yeah, yeah, maybe like
Uh,
WordPress, like a client for like building your WordPress, an MCP client for like configuring your WordPress
Correct. So you
server.
can probably
Yeah,
build an MCP server for WordPress. That is one thing.
yeah,
You can take it one step further and just integrate an MCP client as well, so that your WordPress integration is native, and you can get other things as an MCP servers, or you can just um use, let's say, the WordPress marketplace to install things, and then get the AI to sort of do installations. And the problem right now with WordPress is that the themes, for example, you install a theme,
yeah.
they are rigid, they have already been made, they are, you
Uh,
don't know how to change them. I
got
think
it.
with this vibe coding WordPress tool, you can probably do that, and then get your WordPress website to look exactly like what you want.
Fair, fair. I see what you mean. Like you can kind of like you want to build a layer on top of like the whole WordPress ecosystem to like alter things that you wouldn't have been able to do previously because a you
Correct.
might not be technical yourself, and like when you're also like, I assume when you're dealing with like a WordPress theme, it's not like easy to go understand and change the code from that theme, like
Yeah, I mean, if you're not a developer, obviously,
yeah,
it's
yeah. I
very
mean,
hard.
like even if you're a developer, like kind of
You have to be a PHP
inheriting, yeah,
developer. You have to have.
inheriting that code base,
Hmm.
understanding, acha, they're using CSS variables or they're using BE, like you, like dealing with styles and different ways. It's always like not fun if it's something that you are not
Yeah,
familiar or enjoy that pattern.
correct. Another service that you can probably conjure up over here is WordPress, because you can install so many plugins, you can install so many themes, and all of those things just live there, and it's PHP, so everything is loaded in the memory. It slows down the website, and then you generally, what you do is you
Ah,
hire developers, right?
yeah,
uh, and the developers don't really have to do a lot. They're like, okay, this plugin is useless, let's just remove it. This theme is useless, remove it. These things are interfering between each other, so like there's not a lot of intelligence required as much as
fair,
knowledge is required.
fair,
Okay,
fair, fair.
and that is where I think the AI tools obviously shine. So maybe you can, there's also a scope for somebody to build like a WordPress doctor, which fixes your WordPress installation, makes it faster, makes it less prone to
Yeah,
errors, makes it more secure, and bunch of those things.
yeah, yeah. And then but I guess do you think on a broader scale, like do you think it's like, is it like a, like you're going after a dying market in this dying ecosystem of like, do you help WordPress become AI native faster, or will Lovable and V0 and all these vibe code tools build their own marketplaces around their products faster? Like, is it a better idea to build around that growing ecosystem versus this very large but possibly dying ecosystem?
Um, it's always the age old question, right? Like,
Yeah,
will the innovation get the distribution first, or the distribution get the innovation first?
yeah,
Why not both? Like, I mean, if you build it out for WordPress, and build it out in for the editor of the WordPress,
yeah,
uh, you will obviously come across things that you can build out for your eventual Lovable or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bolt marketplace. Uh, I believe like both of them can go hand in hand.
yeah.
So yeah, in my opinion, just a minute. In my opinion,
WordPress.
it's a good wedge to get in for sure.
Fair, fair. Makes sense.
And thing is, with WordPress, you can probably sell to a bunch of companies right now today,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So for example,
I mean,
LLM engine optimization is on the
yeah,
rise.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
know
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right? So like I'm pretty sure there is probably one tool out there, one plugin out there that does LLM engine optimization for WordPress websites. My point is WordPress ecosystem can sustain 30 of these,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
why you have an opportunity to build one of those 30 today?
yeah, yeah. And I mean, like, if you recall, like, there's this company called Webflow,
Yes,
and like they came up with the sole purpose because like WordPress is hard for people to use
use.
themselves, and like people hire agencies to use WordPress. Like like Webflow lets you put any designer onto Webflow, and like then Webflow itself became complicated and yada yada. So you can kind of uncomplicate Webflow and WordPress by like building this AI vibe code layer on top of it.
Yeah, yeah. My point is, WordPress has not been shown the love that AI tools have been showing to other things.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a untapped opportunity, or at least not completely competed
Explore.
away opportunity, which will look for. People will look for some solution today. Um, at the very least, WordPress is not going away for the next 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, yeah,
At
yeah.
least you have that much time.
Yeah, yeah. And like you do have like a lot of people to like this is like very easy to do like SEO around and do like you have a large market to sell into. You don't have to teach anyone about WordPress. You don't really have to teach anyone about like vibe coding anymore, I would say. So it's like
Yeah.
it's fairly easy to like market this product if it works well.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Speaking
Lactose,
of
lactose.
WordPress doctors, have you do you drink a lot of milk, Shobhit?
Um yeah, I recently started because of
Recently
the whole
started.
protein stuff. I
Oh,
mean, so I used to drink a lot when I was a
yeah,
kid because
yeah,
my mom would force it to me.
yeah,
Then I went to college, and then I think it became like once a month kind of a thing.
yeah, yeah.
And then when I started working, it also went down. I might have a tea here and there, but or coffee maybe, but
Hmm.
and then when I stopped coffee, then basically it's just milkshake. If I'm ever having a milkshake or an ice cream, that is my dairy intake.
Okay, fair, fair
But
enough.
now recently, because of the whole protein,
Protein you've been drinking more. Okay, I
yeah,
guess like paneer and milk is
correct. Paneer has always
yeah,
been there, but
yeah,
yeah, milk
yeah.
because of the whole protein
Did
stuff.
but did you also know that most of India is lactose intolerant?
Yeah, when I found out, it was so funny.
Like
So,
when did you find out, or do you remember what that?
uh, I think Raj had shared something
Okay,
on
okay,
Instagram, and I was like, "Bro, are you crazy?"
yeah,
And then he was like, "No, just search." I was like, "Okay." I searched and I had a chat, and then I realized, "Oh my God, we don't know this is lactose intolerance. We
yeah,
just
which is
treat it as way of life."
yeah. So I mean, like it when I was researching this, like I think a couple of weeks ago, and I tweeted about it as well. That like 60 to 70% of India is lactose intolerant, and I tweeted about like oh like why isn't Lactaid a big thing here? Because there's this company in the US called Lactaid, where like or I guess maybe let me take a step back and tell you what lactose tolerance is in humans and how it came about before I
Mm,
get to this point. So basically, lact our body um, has to produce this enzyme called lactase to be able to digest milk.
okay.
Now, this is not typically present in humans after they stop breastfeeding. So when you stop breastfeeding as a baby, you lose that enzyme in most kids, and
Mm,
most adults hence do not have it. About several thousand years ago, um, human population started domesticating cattle and goats and sheep and started consuming their dairy products. So they're having milk and milk se kuch butter bana rahe the and this and this and this. And from that period in Europe, people started developing just through what is it? Um, what is it? Yeah, just through evolution, like humans, parts of the human population started producing lactase even
Hmm.
as adults.
Okay.
And that started off in Europe, and then kind of the Aryans all brought it to like North India, because like North Indian, Punjab, Rajasthan, Haryana population, parts of them derive their ancestry to this Aryan migration that came into South Asia.
Hmm.
And that's why North Indians have a much higher lactose tolerance, because genetically they have been used to it. And that's why most South Indians are not lactose tolerant. So there was a study done in the 1980s.
Are
Uh,
not lactose tolerant.
yeah, they're lactose intolerant.
South Indians.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah. So, and then there's a study done in the 1980s around testing multiple arts of India and their lactose tolerance. So they did tests in Trivandrum, Pondicherry, and Delhi. And they found out in Pondicherry and Trivandrum about over 65% of people are not able to digest lactose properly. But in Delhi, it was only 27%.
Okay.
So that kind of like shows you that like, acha, like it makes sense from like this migration pattern that acha, North में लोग come from ancestors who always used to drink milk, and then as kids you're always taught to drink milk, so then that enzyme probably persists in our population, versus in the south it never existed, so it didn't get built up enough.
Got it.
Yeah. And then, but the reason why I was bringing this up is like in the US, there is some amount of population, and like I've had friends who are lactose intolerant and stuff like that. And you get this, like you can get it as a pill or drops or as chewable tablets called lactate. And like you pop it before you're consuming any dairy product, and that pill basically is lactase. So, like, you add lactase to your body right before you consume dairy, and then your body is able to consume dairy properly. I was like, इंडिया में ये लोग क्यों नहीं यूज करते हैं?
It's like party smart, but for milk.
Yes, yeah, basically. And I tweeted it, and like I was a little shocked at people's responses, because it was like, what do you mean? Like, Indians are not lactose intolerant? Like, this is all fake. This is all like Gen Z woke shit. Like, I was like, wow, people are really like fucking blind if they're like, oh, we are not feeling well after consuming milk, but like we will deal with it. It's not because we're lactose intolerant. It's just a part of life. And I was really intrigued by how people react. And like I think you were telling me the same, like how like in like your family would probably like refuse to believe they are not able to consume dairy.
Correct. So, my cousin,
Yeah,
basically, his mother would give him milk 4 times a day. Okay, and
that's a lot.
he would never like it. He was like, I don't like drinking milk and all.
Yeah,
And he just got in the habit of drinking milk because like it was just forced upon him because he was always like very thin, and then you
yeah,
know
yeah.
there was at that time MS Dhoni was at his peak,
Oh,
and we had like this
six,
Dhoni would drink
six.
5 liter of
Yeah,
milk,
yeah,
6 liter of milk theory. So like she would tell him, see Dhoni go dekh, and you want to be like Dhoni, this is how he is.
oh,
And so he grew up thinking, okay, fine. He started liking the taste and stuff, and like to drink.
yeah,
When he grew up, he was like, I have a daily problem with my stomach, and what's
yeah,
going
yeah,
on? He went to a doctor. Doctor told him, bro, you can't have milk. You are severely lactose intolerant. He comes back to his mother,
yeah,
and she was like she basically was flippant about it. She's
yeah,
like, doctors don't know this, like the whole what is it called, allopathy
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah, it's like it's anyway anti-Indian and stuff like that was the sentiment. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So
we don't want to believe that
yeah,
there is
I just
something called lactose intolerance.
yeah. So I'm kind of confused on like how this is gonna play out in India because like I don't like after that tweet I was like okay maybe like Indians are not gonna like accept lactate.
Yeah, and this is, by the way, this is Twitter India, which is like
Yeah. It's already like
avocado
very
matcha Indians.
very privileged people. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm curious if this kind of goes like a similar way around like gymming and like protein where like it takes decades for like any movement to happen and eventually there's a movement around it and then all of a sudden like rich Indians are like oh finally like we will not consume milk anymore and then that starts trickling down to the populations but yeah
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to play out. I would say if you feel like you are lactose intolerant you should go get it checked if you are lactose intolerant.
What are the symptoms?
I have no clue. I mean, like I think
No idea.
uh,
Gut health.
gut
That's what
health.
I've
Yeah,
heard. But I think Amul has launched lactose-free milk already. So
it does. But did you know lactose-free milk still has some lactose? It's not 100% lactose-free.
I mean, it's better than like normal milk,
Yeah,
though. At
even like
least you won't.
if someone is severely lactose intolerant,
Correct.
even lactose-free milk will upset their stomach.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. So you know what this the ending of that story?
What?
My mommy, basically,
Yeah,
that guy's mother, she learned how to make oat milk and almond milk
Oh
and
wow,
stuff like that. She learned. She was
wow.
like, okay, what do I do now? Because once she accepted that, okay, this is a thing,
Yeah.
then she was like, okay, what are the solutions? And then it was during the COVID time, and she learned how to make
Oh
all
wow,
those things.
interesting. No, but did you know? So I found like I always used to think like almond milk and oat milk are like healthier alternatives to like normal
Yeah,
milk.
I think they don't have lactose. It's,
Yeah,
at
but
least
then
that's what I thought.
I like around COVID there was like this whole like everyone started consuming like oat milk and like Oatly became this huge thing in the US. And then there was this huge like thing on Twitter on like how Oatly is actually really bad for you and it has all this like vegetable oil and like all these emulsifiers that are actually like not good for you. So then I found out that almond milk and oat milk are actually maybe not as not healthy alternatives. They're just lactose intolerant, like lactose
Uh,
alternatives.
I think I used to think similarly based on a bunch of these reports. For
Yeah,
example, one had come for diet Coke, that aspartame can give you cancer,
yeah,
right? And I immediately stopped consuming. Okay,
yeah,
then one day I went through it and dig deeper on it. I was just craving. Okay,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
just tried digging deeper. What I found out was, if you have, I think, 80 or 85 diet Cokes a
Day,
day,
then it becomes yeah.
then it becomes like 3% or 5% increase in probability. Like that's, and they're like, if you do consume that much,
Then
aspartame is not a
yeah,
problem for
it's
you.
a
You have
fucking
like
caffeine.
caffeine, and then water is a problem for
Yeah,
you, and then like so much water your body can't handle. Like, so
that's so much caffeine.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like there are reports, but then we don't know we just, if we just go by the headline, yes, it's scary.
yeah,
So many times when I've dug deeper into them, I'm like, oh, okay, it's not as scary. It's scary,
yeah.
but
It,
if you just have like a couple of glasses,
yeah.
maybe it's
I
fine.
mean, it's like it's probably not great for you, but it's also not, and it's probably
It's
like a
bit
little bad for you, but it's
Yeah,
not
but
like
it's not as bad as
drinking.
regular milk, I guess.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know about that.
I don't.
We are not health experts, so please
Yeah,
direct these
just
questions
FYI.
to Food Farmer.
So I saw that you were getting hammered everywhere on that
Oh,
tweet.
dude. I mean, that I feel like that has become like our regular, our regular like habit on Twitter. Like you've had it several times in the last month as well. I feel like, or like
Yeah,
people are
last
just
week only.
angry.
Last 7 days, I had, I think, four or five tweets that cross 1000 likes, and
Wow.
anytime a tweet crosses 500
Yeah,
likes
yeah,
is, you know, that
yeah,
you have to just mute the conversation
yeah,
because now the
yeah,
shit has hit
yeah,
fan. People are going to attack you from all the corners.
yeah,
But I recently tweeted, let me just find out verbatim what I had written. But basically, last week,
yeah.
I attended, I think, four events. Okay.
Wow.
Last week I was like, I want to
Four
get out. I
events.
want to, yeah, I
You're
wanted to
so
talk to,
introverted.
that's what I
Yeah,
was like, let me, let me go out, let me fight my introversion, like,
yeah,
and so these were like, a lot of them were like, three of them were, I think, technical. So like people would come up and give give a tech talk, or demo their product, or demo their research, or something like that. Okay, so I attended like four of them, and man, are we boring. It's just, especially like us developers, and I'm not saying I'm a saint over here. Okay,
yeah.
I am
I
including
don't.
myself
I
in
don't
the
think you're
problem.
boring, Shobhit. I think.
I i mean, but I will include myself in the problem because I am not as interesting as I have seen the other people from, it's majorly been mean UK or the US,
Yeah,
not even UK, I guess, mostly the US. And I think people in the US are much better at marketing and branding and stuff like that. They understand the value of storytelling. But my tweet was, people in India need to level up their presentation game if they
yeah,
want to sell outside.
yeah.
We are too transactional, no humor, no stories. We just straight up start spitting out technical jargon. I mean, that is exactly what happened. Like, I was sitting in
Bro, I
one
feel
of
so
these.
bad for like the dude who inspired this tweet, who's now maybe
There,
thinking.
so the thing is, there were like a bunch of, I can say that there were maybe eight dudes.
Okay.
So I'm not going to put blame on any of them,
Yeah.
because I actually gave feedback to one of them
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
Like, dude, just add some jokes to it. Like, this is too,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, imagine somebody starts with like a differential equation, and then they're like, okay, to get to this differential equation, the next thing is you put this value from this equation, just add it there, and that's the whole talk. Like, no context, nothing. They
What the
just straight
fuck?
up start shouting
What the
you
fuck?
with math symbols, and you're like, dude, I just got in here in Kormangla from this traffic. Like,
Yeah.
let me
This
just.
is what I came for.
No, I thought like, I thought that I had come for all those places. I thought like they'll be more accessible, maybe,
Yeah. Yeah.
and maybe I was not at the technical level where
Yeah.
I should have been to understand them.
No, I mean like
But
you
then,
studied enough math. I'm sure you know what differential equations are.
no, no, I knew this. I know what differential equation is. I don't know the names of all the equations,
Okay,
right? Like,
well, duh.
if
Yeah.
you just tell me this is Chintu's differential equation, I'm like, okay, what is it? And they're like, from Chintu's differential equation, we know that this. I'm like,
I think
okay,
that's just
what?
like really terrible context setting.
Yeah, I mean, context setting.
Like you
See,
can't just
context setting is,
assuming like you can't just assume everyone knows anything. Like I feel like the biggest thing on like giving a presentation or like giving a talk is like assume your audience knows nothing. And you start from
yeah.
there.
So correct, but not nothing. See, you should know what your audience knows.
Ha ha
If you
ha.
start from nothing, right, like,
ठीक है.
that's also very bad. A lot of demos, for example, they start from nothing, and then they're like, okay, so this is how you sign up, this is how you enter your
Well, okay,
email, this is
ठीक है. It's fair. I hear your point.
right.
Yeah.
So the point is, know your audience, or one, at least entertain them, or at least engage them. Nowadays, what I do is, whenever I have to speak somewhere, I just say, hey guys, my name is Shobhit. And even before I say that my name is Shobhit, I'm like, hey guys, can I get a hey from you? And like, just that, like even 10% people do it. I'm like, I couldn't hear, can you just go one more time? And like
Yeah.
30% people do it now, and it's
Yeah.
just just that act, at least it snaps them out of their sleep. And
I agree, but I feel like that's not
hmm.
enough to like hold an audience.
Obviously it's
Yeah.
not, but
Yeah.
lately, if you do like maybe seven or eight things like these, Don't go just hey
No,
hey
I,
hey every
I
time. But
disagree. I think you need to learn how to present your content in an engaging manner rather than using cruxes to make
I,
sure that people are still awake.
I'm saying just that is the bare minimum.
ठीक है, fair, fair, okay, okay.
Like I'm saying people in India are not even doing that. And
Yeah.
why do I say people in India? I firstly mean only the technical
No,
people. That's
I
all.
think it's all people in India, and I'll give you my hot take as to why.
Let me just
Okay.
complete though. Technical people specifically, I know because I've attended like conferences like Ruby Conf and stuff where they call like people from outside. And whenever let's say an American is on the stage, you might think that it's because they're white and like the whole problem with but I don't think that's the case because, for example, even when I look at DHH's conference talks
Mm,
online,
mm,
I'm not I'm not looking at it because DHS is like I feel like he's from outside of India. He must
yeah,
be saying whatever, but because he really engages, he
yeah.
shares stories, he gives you context, uh, he keeps you in the loop. You don't feel like you're lost at any point of the time, right? Versus in India, it also might be because English is not our primary language, but
I don't.
it just
That's
people
not the
don't
reason.
come with like come with the story, just straight up technical jargons they start spitting out, like just do gradient descent and do this and do that. I'm like, oh my god, like
I'll tell you.
bedazzle me.
I'll tell you what it all stems from.
Yeah.
It stems from our education system and the
Hmm.
fact that we are not taught to think in school and college. Because you cannot present something and like have thought like unless you have yourself thoughts about it. If you're just explaining a concept, you do not have a thought about it.
Hmm.
And like in America or like the US college, you could like college or high school education system, you are taught how to learn. You're not taught things. So
Hmm.
like your English class, it's like, what do you think this author is saying here? And
Hmm.
in India, it's like memorize this prasansit vyakhya for this poem in Hindi, and then just chapo on your test. So
Yeah.
I feel like because you are never taught to have thoughts, then you never like build on that creative muscle, and that kind of
Yeah.
like compounds throughout your life. And like it's very evident because like I hear people who go to like Indian colleges pitch to me their companies, and people who are do their bachelor's or master's abroad pitch their companies, and like it's so evident how much that impacts how you storytell or how you like form your thoughts or how you present. And I think it's a massive failure of our education system.
Maybe, yeah. So a lot of people commented on it. There were half
Ah,
of
yeah,
them which agreed,
yeah,
right? They're
yeah,
like, yes, that's true. The other half was like, are you crazy? We don't need all this. We just need the information and get out. Like they're like, this is what really we want. I'm
yeah,
like, I, I, I don't know. I don't get it because uh, maybe this was fine when you did not have a lot of Western influence. In our day-to-day life, but now
yeah, yeah,
YouTube is there.
yeah,
You watch Netflix, like I mean, you are getting attuned to like more engaging content everywhere,
yeah, yeah.
right? I think this is also a place where this needs to happen. And obviously a bunch of people were like, how do we do that? I don't really have an answer, but I think it's about practicing. It's about
Hey,
looking at your content from other person's point of view,
it's going to
not doing it
college.
in a cave.
It's going to college in America. That's what's gonna fix you. But not Harvard.
Yeah.
Not Harvard.
Yeah, Harvard is going to not Harvard is not going to expel you. I think Trump is going to expel
Yeah,
you if you
yeah,
go to
yeah.
Harvard.
But if you want to fix how to present, move to America for a couple of years. That's my solution.
Mm, yeah, I mean, if you can do that for sure,
Yeah,
uh, or at least just be in spaces online where other countries, people from other countries are there. You'll automatically see that
yeah. But I think like
we
just seeing that doesn't help you get better.
I mean, at least you can copy someone. That's
But
my
yeah,
solutions to life have always been, okay, who is doing it better? Can I copy them?
yeah. I
Like,
feel like this is a very Bitsian thing. I've heard this from multiple Bits founders.
really?
Yeah. Like I met
I've
one
never
Bits
thought.
founder who we invested in, and he was like, and I was like, oh, like, tell me about Bits, and he was like, and I was like, what's like unique about Bits, and he was like the thing he said, and he's like, what a lot of like our like my friends used to do is like find someone who does something like really really good, and then like figure out how to get to like 80% of it in a very short amount of time. And he was kind of like saying like that's kind of like what makes a Bits student like, and that's kind of very prevalent. I don't know if you can,
Interesting.
if you
I
agree or
haven't
disagree.
noticed. I mean, I've never observed. I might
Yeah.
have
Okay.
this thing, but I think that works though, like
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because see, how do I learned keyboard by myself, piano, right? How did I learn that? I just copied like the famous songs, and eventually I also went through the theory,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like once you have done both of those things, you're like 90% there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't write my own symphony. I mean, I can, but nobody would love my
Yeah.
symphonies. But I can still play like a lot of the things, and with after that it's just practice, right? So I mean, at the very least, know your audience. Have some way to for them to sort of relieve, make them go on a, there's a
Story,
concept of
the hero
of
story.
the arc, the
Yeah.
hero
Yeah.
story, right? You make them laugh, make them anxious, again make them laugh, make them anxious, right? Put something technical, make, and then put like a joke after that, and like that's how you keep engaging people.
Yeah. I mean, like you have to construct the presentation. It can't just be about the content. It has to be about the flow of content and like how it is structured, and take the person
Correct.
on a journey. Don't dump a shit bunch of stuff on them.
Yeah, but then again, this was my gripe as a consumer of that
Yeah. Yeah.
that those presentations, and it was not like, I'm not trying to single out anyone, okay? If I was in one of your audiences, I don't think I'm talking about you specifically. I'm just talking about
He
us
he
in general.
he is talking about you specific.
No, no, I'm not.
Presenter number
This-
3 at the fourth conference. That's who Shobhit is talking about.
so okay. Yeah. So but that's that's the thing, yeah. I mean, it's just
Get fucking better. uh, uh,
uh, okay.
yeah. Do you wanna talk about avocados, or should we cut it?
What was avocado? I forgot. मैं rant में भूल गया सब कुछ.
Avocado startups? नहीं वो the avocado millennial.
Millennial Gen Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about that,
Correct.
or should we end it here today?
Okay, so before we we completely finish off, I had one more tweet where I got blasted.
Okay.
Which is, so
Bro, you've
then
been you've been getting it all from all angles on Twitter.
yeah, thank you, Elon Musk, for fucking up the notification button yesterday.
Dude, it was just like I was like, oh, I'm not getting any notification. Like, what the fuck is happening?
I was only getting DM notifications, but DM wouldn't open, and
Dude,
the notification tab
but
was just
you do you get notifications for DMs? I have not gotten notifications for DMs for the last like 2 years now.
no. I mean, not notification. The number was
Acha,
increasing.
okay, okay. But like remember like over 2 years ago, like when someone messaged you, you would get a notification.
Email also. Yeah.
Yeah, now you don't.
No, you don't.
Not like for
Correct.
like the last 2 years. And like
Yeah.
no one talks about it. Like we just all shut up and accept it.
I don't have notifications on, so I did
Oh,
not know. But I would get email, but now I
gotcha,
wouldn't get email as well.
gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, so Nana, she has been quite a regular feature here,
Yeah.
but Nana basically posted a photo of guac, guacamole,
Yeah.
guacamole. What is it called? Mole or moli?
Guacamole.
Guacamole. Okay,
I thought you
guacamole.
just call it
That
guac.
yeah. So she made guac,
Yeah.
right? And she was like, "I'm not gonna lie, you're sleeping on guac for breakfast." And in 2016, 2017, there was like some guy in Australia had said that
Yeah.
millennials can't buy houses because they're spending all money on avocado toasts. And I was
Which
like, oh, perfect opportunity. I was like if somebody gives me a lollipop ball, I will try to hit a six.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
my
Yeah.
thought process was.
Oh.
So I was like Gen Z falling, Gen Z actually, fuck them,
Gen
Gen
Z.
Z,
Gen Z.
Gen Z, Gen Z falling into the same trap as millennials. They won't own homes either. Okay, and it was just like a reference to that old
Yeah.
thing, and my God, people took it personally. Like people DMs me, people were like, just wait for 5 years. I will buy your whole family property. I'm like, sorry, bro. It's not for sale right now. But
Bro, किसने बोला ये? चूतिए
some
लोग हैं.
faceless, anonymous, anonymous people. They would come. They'll just like कुछ भी बोले जा रहे हैं. So even in replies, people did not get it. So I had to like put a clarification that guys, this is
People are stupid on the internet. I think
yeah.
that's the. But also, I will say when the meme originated, avocado toasts were very expensive.
Not in India. So India में butter
इंडिया
fruit.
में
There's an
या
Indian
इंडिया में तो
butter fruit.
सस्ता है ना.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
Yeah, but इंडियन में
So
avocados भी सस्ते हैं, like the non butter fruit.
yeah, it's 80 rupees or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. My friend was telling me
So
like you can get two avocados for like 80 rupees on Blinkit. Shout
so
out Blinkit.
what was the cost in US, if you remember? You were in US that time.
Yeah, but okay. Well, fun fact: like I lived in California, which is one
Hmm.
of the biggest consumers of avocados because we're right next to the border to Mexico. But
Hmm.
I hate avocados. I hate guac. I hate avocados. I just hate the texture of the fruit. So I am not the authority on what avocados cost.
Okay.
So I would have no clue.
So
I
so
do.
in the article,
Yeah.
in the article it said that $19 avocado toasts. That was like the
And this
catch.
is in 2017, 2016.
Yeah, and
So
this
it,
is not US dollars,
oh,
Australian dollars.
oh. But like
So
inflation adjusted, that's like $45 now.
one AUD in INR is 55 rupees. So it's like a third of USD. Or two-third of
Oh, two
USD.
third, yeah, yeah, yeah. But
So
tub it was not two thirds, no?
no, no, USD AUD have been similar.
No, no,
No.
no.
Okay. Okay. Assuming it was, let's say, $15 in the US.
$15 in the US.
Is it
Okay.
high? Is it low? I don't know.
That is low. You like now, like for then maybe it was okay. Now it's definitely like if you go to a nice breakfast place in like San Francisco or New York, you're not getting like eggs for anything under like 25 dollars, I think. Like
Wow.
it's like a nice breakfast sit down kind of place. Um
Okay.
like
What
if you
about
go
like
to like
quick places?
quick places, like if you're getting it at like a coffee shop type of, like you don't typically get food at like quick places unless it's like a quick service restaurant and then it's a chain.
Hmm.
And like you like okay, if you get guac at Chipotle, it's like $2 extra. And that's
Hmm.
the only like quick serve type place where I know of that you would have avocados.
Hmm.
But it's like extra, but it's not like very expensive.
Yeah, so I think even in California burrito, if you put like avocado extra,
Yeah.
like they have guac for extra,
Yeah, then you
it's like I think 50 rupees or something. It's just
acha.
pointless. You don't need to pay much, right?
So you can still
So
afford a
it
house.
was definitely in a jest,
Yeah.
this thing, and oh man, I did not realize. It was like I had insulted like a country and the
Yeah.
countrymen have like
But I
different
do think
like
that Gen Zs are gonna not be able to afford homes in India because home prices are going up
going up.
much faster than income levels, and there are more luxury and more expensive houses being created as opposed to some of the like affordable houses.
So
And
do you think Gen Z or Gen Z are down bad rather than more down than millennials?
I don't think they're more down bad than American millennials.
No, Indian
Oh
millennials.
yeah, definitely.
Huh.
Like if you look at property prices in Bangalore, fucking
Hmm.
shooting through the roofs, no?
But millennials would be buying now.
The millennials would have bought over the last 5, 7 years.
Huh, makes sense.
Like
But
it's
then the
like
market
the
market was like stagnant for like 10 years, so
but
now it's going through the roof.
now
Yeah.
all fucking IPOs are happening and all people are buying houses, housing prices are going higher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like, I mean, the home interest rates aren't like really, it's not like they're cheap in India.
Yeah, correct.
And like, I mean, there's whole things around interest rates in India in general, where like in the US you can have a locked income, like in
Locked
US
interest.
whenever you get your loan, your interest rate is locked. In
Hmm.
India, it's always like a floating
Correct.
repo plus buffer. Like I know people who got like home loans for like 2%.
In the US,
Yeah,
no? Yeah.
it's fucking
I know people
yeah,
who have bought houses in the US and come back and they're like, yeah, I'm not paying it off, it's just 2%.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
but yeah. Have you bought a house or something in India ever?
No, have you?
Me neither. No. Okay. Cool.
Cool.
So this was nice.
Must have
I
gone.
got to rant.
Yeah. Catch us
Okay.
next week for things we say on Twitter this week that will upset people.
Things we actually wanted to say.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, share, subscribe, guys,
And turn on the bell icon.
and turn on the bell
Ding.
icon. Chal. See ya. Bye.